Cutie Pies, it is Lanickia, and I am coming to you with the latest episode recap and review of Young and the Restless. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. All right, so today I'm just getting Jack and Phyllis over with. We saw Jack and Phyllis go back to the house. Now they go back to the house because they want to see what exactly is going on, what has happened with chemo, and who's been sending them these messages. So they haven't heard back from the person. And so they go back in the house because they're thinking, well, maybe they've come here, but the person is not there at the house. So no, they didn't come back. But they like, but as they're talking, they were like, "Do you smell that?" And Phyllis says, "It smells like perfume." And Jack said, "Yeah, it smells like orange blossom." So they know someone's been there. And Phyllis says, "Let's just look in the box again." And Jack was like, "I don't know. Like we've looked." And she was like, it won't hurt. I mean, what is it gonna hurt? So they look in the box again and they see this photo, and it has this young lady on there that was in the picture earlier, but you can tell now she's grown up. The little girl is grown up into this young lady, and they have the name on there, Annie, and it has the phone number. So they were like, okay, who is this? So Phyllis says, all you can do is call. So they call the number, and they don't pick up. So Jack leaves his information, and Annie calls him back, and she says, "Hey, I'm busy right now, but I can meet you at the house later." So they're like, "Okay, okay, cool." So Jack gets nervous, and he's like, "I gotta go take a walk." He's so nervous about what he's gonna discover. And Phil's like, "Yeah, go ahead," and he tells her, "Do you mind staying here?" She said, "Yeah, it'll probably be a better if I stay here, just in case Annie comes back." And he's like, "Yeah." And so Phyllis goes to the garden, and Jack goes for a walk, but Annie hasn't showed up, and I guess it's been a while. So now he's getting nervous about what if she decides not to come, or you know what's going on. And so as he's about to call her, Phyllis is like, "Here's Annie. Annie's here." So Annie did show up, and she comes in, and she's like, "Who are you guys? Are you the lawyers or bankers? The estate has been settled." She has no clue who they are, and they're like, and Jack says, "I'm Jack Abbott. I knew him as Chemo. That's my son." And Annie is shocked, and Phyllis and Jack are reacting like, "What?" Their reaction, because they're all shocked. I guess they're shocked by her reaction of being um dumbfounded by this, because they're like, so Chemo didn't let you know he had a father. So I guess that's their reaction. But that was the cliffhanger for them, and I guess they'll pick back up on that next week and give us more information, because we know that I believe Annie is supposed to be coming on this um, storyline as Jack's granddaughter, Chemo's daughter. So that's what happened there. Now we go to let's go to Sharon and Ray. So Sharon and Ray are, she's at her shop. She's doing end of the year inventory. He's like, "It's March," and she was like, "Yeah, I'm behind." So he was like, "What are you gonna be doing after this?" And they're talking, and they're talking about a date night, and she was like, she has a perfect plan for them, and because he was talking about going to the pool hall, going to bowling and stuff, and she was like, "I don't want to do that." But before she could do it, she gets a phone call from Faith, and she actually has to go because she was selected as the little boy's favorite person. So she actually has to go and do that for him. So she doesn't get to do the date night that she wanted to do with Ray, or the date time, because it was just a few hours that she wanted to do with Ray. And so he was like, "Oh man, it's like you don't have time." Like, he feels like they don't ever have time or whatever. But so then Chelsea comes in. Is it Chelsea? Oh yeah, Chelsea comes in, and she and Ray are catching up and everything, and she's like, "Are you busy?" And he was like, "Actually, I do have some free time," because Sharon had to leave him. So he's like, "Yeah, I actually do have some free time." So he goes and sits down with Chelsea, and they're just reminiscing. Never a good thing. Like, not when you're kind of starting to. They're showing signs that he might be unhappy. So they're reminiscing, and he's telling her about a game, and he's glad her son. He's glad he really his son really liked the jersey and stuff he gave. And she said, "Yeah, I went and saw him as soon as I got back in town." And they're just talking, they're just chopping it up, right? And they're I don't know what's fit. I don't know what's gonna happen here. I don't know what they're trying to do, but I, I don't like it. I don't like it, but we'll see how this storyline goes and what's gonna happen with Chelsea, Ray, and Sharon and everyone. And that was pretty much it with them. Then we go to okay, so Dominic is with Devon, right? Remember he picked him up for the weekend because Chase had that therapy appointment. Well, now Chase is going to another appointment. He's going to a lot of like I'm like he just got him on Friday. I guess it's Saturday or Sunday. I'm like okay, but so Abby and did I call it this boy? Abby and Chance, not Chase. So Abby and Chance come over to Devon's. And they're like, you didn't get out my text message? And he was like, no, what did it say? And she was like, yeah, I was coming to go ahead and get Dominic. And Devon is kind of bummed about that because he was like, I was going to bring him over tonight, because he was enjoying his time with him. But she's like, no, but Chase wants to spend some time with him before he goes to therapy, get the good vibes going and all that. He thinks it'll help. And Chase just thanks Dominic for, letting him pick up, Devon for letting him pick up Dominic early. And he was like, no problem or whatever. But you could tell he was kind of bummed that they did that. And so they leave and by this time, Amanda has come downstairs and she's just like, are you okay? And he was like, yeah, I'm good. They came and picked him up early, but sometimes I go and pick him up early to bring him over. So, if I'm going to do that, then they can do this. And she was like, okay. Well, they go to Sharon's shop. And before Sharon and Ray had, parted their ways, Dominique and Amanda arrive. And he starts grilling Sharon about, I heard you gave, this is Devon. Devon is saying, I heard you gave Chase the number to a good therapist. And she was like, yeah. And he was like, how's it going? She's like, even if I did know, which I don't know. And she had told him that earlier, so I don't know why he asked her. But she said, even if I did know, which I don't know, I couldn't tell you that information. He's like, you're right. I just want to make sure everything's okay. And he had asked Ray also about, what did he think about Chase going back to the force anytime soon and all this. And they both reassured Devon that, Dominique has us looking out for him. Chase is getting the help that he needs, which is a great thing. And Dominique is going to have us looking out for him as well. And Chase, is going to have his therapist and us also. So that helps to calm Devon down and everything. And so then Amanda, when they go sit down, Amanda's just like, hey, I thought you wanted to come here to grab a bite and have some alone time, out and about. But it looks like you just came here to interrogate Sharon. And he was like, that's not what I was doing. And she was like, yeah, pretty much what you was. And she said, and it kind of has me wondering about your mindset or your frame of mind. I know you're concerned about Chase, but I'm concerned about yours. And he was like, what do you mean? And she said, because, are you wanting sole custody of Dominic? And he reassures her, no, I don't want sole custody. I just want to know he said that I've been through therapy and I know you just don't leave that at the therapist. And I just want to make sure that Dominic is in a good, healthy environment. And, Chase is getting all the feel goods from Dominic, just being around baby. They make you feel good. You love them. He says, but I want to know that that's not affecting Dominic. And she says, I'm sure that they'll tell us, I'm sure that everything is fine. But I just want to know that this isn't something where you're going to try to, fight for the baby. Because I know what y'all have going right now is working, but it's different. And he reassures her, no, he's just concerned about Dominic. Now we go to Chase, who goes and speaks to the therapist. And he is having a rough time. They talk about Spain again. And he's dealing with survivor's remorse. He feels bad that he survived and they did not, like his team did not. And he feels like a coward because his team was all around him dead, and when the enemy came to see if there were any survivors, he played dead as well. Now, this caused him to give back to the families of his team members, and one of the women was, she's a widow now, and she told him, you gotta live your life. Thank you for helping us. We're so grateful. And none of the family members blamed him, but they said, you gotta move on and live your life and don't feel guilty. But he's having a hard time with that. and just going to the therapy is making him raw, so that when he gets home, Abby, the baby is teething, and she was like, "Oh, I can't soothe him," and she says maybe holding his dad holding him will, and he was like, "No, Abby, not right now or whatever," and she was like, "Come on, just give him," and he was like, "Abby, I told you no," like he's snapping at her, and so he's concerned. This is the second time he's brought up to her that he's concerned about Dominic being around all this bad energy that he has, and she's like, "No, it'll be okay." And he knows you love him, and we'll be okay. We'll get through this. You're going to therapy now. I think this is going to be a bigger story than what they're leading to, and I just want to see how this plays out. But yeah, I think this is going to be a much bigger story, and at some point, Devon is going to try to fight for sole custody, because I think Dominic he's trying to tell Abby, and she's not listening to like how this is really affecting him. But that was Young and the Restless today, guys. I hope you enjoyed the rest of your weekend. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel, and I will see you Monday for a new episode and another recap and review.